Hey everybody, NavyDoc5184 here, and welcome to another music reaction. Today we are reacting to Dimash, and we are going to be doing his performance of Adagio from The Singer in 2017. So this was another one that was very highly recommended by everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and get that one knocked out right out of the bat. So far, this guy has been absolutely amazing. I would say the closest thing to a hiccup I ever had with him was probably when he did The Show Must Go On, but thankfully patience prevailed, and seeing the progression that he did with the song, it turned out to be absolutely fantastic. That's one of the reasons why when it comes to listening to new artists or anything, I definitely say, let it play out. Let's see where he goes with it, because I'm not gonna lie, it sounded a little weak at first, not in terms of his vocals at all, just overall, but the build he did with it was absolutely great. And I think that's what he's really good at with his stuff, and I think that's what makes it so great, is it's not just the vocal talent he has, but it's the ability he has to, with his songs, how I'm not gonna say start off slow necessarily, but there's a build that happens, and then once you get to the end, it's just everything is just left on that stage, and it's absolutely amazing to watch as it happens, seeing the progression of everything. And I think that's what I really like about him, is it's not just a straight straight power all the way through, or it's completely mellow all the way through. It's a progression to reach a climax, and oh man, I think that's really what it is about him that I really like about this. So I'm very excited to see what he has for this one. Again, this was a highly recommended one, so I'm sure this one's going to be absolutely fantastic. So we will go ahead and get started. I will leave a link to the original in the description below. Let's go ahead and get started. Wait, what? Is that him on the piano? Yeah, I didn't know he played piano too. Well, that kind of adds a whole new dynamic to it. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my headphones here.
I don't know where to find you. I don't know how to reach you. I hear your voice in the way.
Wow.
I feel you under my skin.
I love how they show the other singers in the competition with this. I'm really enjoying the start of this. Such a soft, mellow song. I think it suits him perfectly. He does those so well, I believe. And I loved how he threw in that falsetto in there. One of the things that I'm not going to say would annoy people, because I could see it annoying maybe the average listener, but the way I love how he throws in his falsettos in his songs, because he always throws them in very appropriate spots. I can see how maybe the average listener might think he's just kind of thrown in there to show off, but I mean, if you really look at where he's placing them, he's not doing it just to do it. He places them where it fits, and it's very awesome to see. And the thing I just commented about how they show the other singers on here, I love how they show their reactions, because I feel like that their reactions totally fit anybody else who's watching him for the first time. So I guess if I never really understand or what to say in a situation, I could probably just go back. I'm like, if you just look at the other contestants there, their expressions tell the story, because they really do. They really do tell the story. And again, knowing that this is 2017, I know I got some more recent stuff that I will get to eventually. I think I am going to probably go through a lot of his singer stuff first. But I've been hearing so much about how he has improved so much from them, especially with his English speaking. I know another one. I think they said he did another one with "Show Must Go On," or maybe it was another Queen song. I already forgot who it was with, but I'm gonna have to look that up again. But that he's gotten a lot better with his English speaking. So, and I would imagine that that would add to the quality of it. But even when he, I don't want to say struggles, because I don't think he necessarily struggles, but you can kind of tell that there are some words that he has a little bit of difficulty with. But it doesn't affect the quality of the vocals on it, which I think really speaks a lot to just how talented he is. To where if there's a point where, you know, he may struggle with it, you really can't tell that he's struggling with it. And that's amazing to really see that. That really shows really just how much talent and I guess you could say just how in tune he is. Pardon the pun, but that's the only thing I could really think of to say with that. But so far, this has been amazing, and I know it's only going to pick up from here. And I told you it was going to start picking up. You knew it. You can even hear it in his vocals that it's starting to pick up.
You'll be my house. Adagio. Close my eyes and then away. It's okay. I won't suffer.
He's letting it be known he is not playing. Just like I thought. It's almost like it was with The Show Must Go On. How it starts off nice, slow, mellow. Then he picks it up a little bit, but then he gets right to that midpoint. And that's where the switch kind of gets fully turned on. You can feel that right here. That switch is about to go fully on. You could tell just by the power he was exuding with his vocals there, even the backing music and everything. Just there was just more power added to it. And the amazing thing about it is even though that power was added, you still kind of get that mellowness, that gentleness with the song, to where it doesn't feel like it's overdone, but at the same time, your attention is grasped and there's just nothing you can do about it. You're just forced to just kind of just see where he's going to go with this. And it's a very nice pattern. And honestly, I wish more artists would do that. Not necessarily all the time. There are times where that isn't necessarily needed, but I think that does kind of add to a song a little bit, especially if you have the vocal ability to really throw that power in there. If you can just get a nice build to it, you know, and that's what most people want to do, is you want to build up to a climax. That way, by the time it's over, whether it's a movie, whether it's a song, whoever is watching or listening to it, but when that is done, they're just like, that was just such an amazing piece of art right there. And he nails this just so well. And as I said before, I think that's what I really love about him, is the fact that, you know, I can't just sit still and be like, this is what I'm getting about the whole thing, because there's just more and more getting added to it. And then by the time I get done, I'm just like, wow, what was it that I just witnessed? And I can definitely see that that's probably what I'm going to feel by the time this is over. See, you can still feel that build. Listen to that. Yeah, don't worry. We feel you, guy. We feel you, guy.
To leave my heart, sent to give me your love,
That diaphragm work too, I tell you what. Now you got the backing choir there too. Look at, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, he had to take out an earpiece. Oh, you know he's into it now. There it is. Nice. Alright, y'all, that was Adagio by Dimash, and it was everything I expected. And I just have to say, y'all were I can definitely see why it was so highly recommended. This is probably easily one of my favorites for him so far that I've listened to. And I think the thing, and this kind of goes off to a point where I said earlier where I was talking about where he throws in his falsettos, because I'm so used to hearing him throw those in quite a bit. But the fact that we only had really 2 spots in this whole song where he had that in there, which really kind of reinforces my point to where he doesn't do it just to do it, even though we know he can. But he makes sure that it's at an appropriate spot, which I think as a listener, that's something I really appreciate, because I think that's something that a lot of artists nowadays really don't take too much into consideration, is not so much whether they can do a thing, but whether they should do a thing. We know that Dimash can hit those high falsettos, but he knows that it's not necessary in all songs, in all places, and when he does place it in there, it fits and it's an appropriate spot. And that's something that I really appreciate about watching him, is he always makes sure that whatever he does, it's appropriate, A, for the song, and B, for the placement in the song. You know, it really just shows just how, again, pardon the pun, but how in tune he is to the song that he is doing, that he knows, you know, when to place whatever it is, you know, when to throw in, you know, that power. And good Lord Almighty, that diaphragm control that man has is just, you know, for those of you out there who sing, you know, you understand how hard it can be to A, hold a note for a decent amount of time, but then to also kind of keep it with, you know, like some power in there. You know, I think that a lot of people term it, you know, as forte, for loud. And that can be really hard. And when you're in a choir, it's kind of easy to manage that, because you got other people within your, I don't know exactly what the term to use. I'll just say group, you know, like whether you're a tenor, alto, baritone, bass, soprano, whatever it is, you know, you got other people that are within your range. So if you kind of need to back off a little bit to kind of reset your diaphragm, it's not like you lose much. But when you're doing this solo, and for him to do that as long as he did and still hold it on there, that really shows the work that he's really put in, you know, to diaphragm control and everything, to be able to hold that for as long. That is not as easy as, you know, people would think. But anybody who's done any type of singing understands really how hard that can be. And the fact that he makes that look so easy is I'm not going to say disgusting because it sounds like that. I think it's a bad thing, but I really don't. But you kind of get what I'm saying on there. It's maybe unfair is the best word I'm looking for. The fact that he makes it look so easy is very unfair because you can get somebody that's like, oh, I can do that. And then they try it and they're just like, just, they're winded. But that again, just that's the testament to not only his talent but the work that he puts in there, and the fact that I just keep hearing that as time goes on he just gets better and better. I totally expect that because he looks like somebody that really takes a lot of pride in his art and will continuously work to get better at it. So the fact that he's already this good, I can't wait to hear his more recent stuff because I can only imagine how good that is going to be, knowing that he's had 4+ years to work on his style, to work on his craft and everything. So I can only imagine how great it's going to be. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. This was an absolutely fantastic video. I really enjoyed this song a lot. I am really enjoying this journey right here. This man is something else, and I honestly don't know. I don't even remember how it was I got introduced to him. I think it was I can't even remember. I just know that I'm glad I was introduced to him. This dude is something else. I'm really enjoying this trip so far, and I thank y'all for joining me on this. Definitely keep leaving more suggestions in the comments. I will add whatever I don't have already. I've got quite a few of his stuff in my watch list already, but I will gladly add more. Just keep bringing in those suggestions, and I will see you guys down the road.